Hello, and welcome back to the Military Matrix. In a stunning escalation that has shaken global energy markets and sent shockwaves through the Kremlin, Ukraine has launched a daring long-range strike that completely destroyed one of Russia's most valuable oil facilities, a site estimated to be worth over $1.2 trillion in strategic and economic importance. The attack, carried out in the early hours of the morning, reportedly targeted a massive oil production and storage complex deep inside Russian territory, hundreds of kilometers from the front lines. According to Ukrainian defense sources, the operation was executed with precision drones and high-impact missiles that bypassed multiple layers of Russian air defense. Within minutes, the sky above the facility turned into a raging inferno as storage tanks erupted in flames, sending thick columns of black smoke visible for miles. Russian emergency services rushed to contain the blaze, but local reports indicate that the fire burned uncontrollably for several hours, consuming tens of thousands of tons of crude oil. Satellite images later confirmed the complete destruction of several key sections of the complex, including processing units, pipelines, and export terminals. Analysts now estimate that the attack has wiped out nearly 15% of Russia's total domestic oil refining capacity, a staggering blow that could cripple the country's wartime economy. This facility, located in Russia's western region, was not just another refinery. It was one of Moscow's crown jewels, a critical hub that supplied fuel to both the Russian military and civilian sectors. Experts say its loss will have ripple effects across the entire Russian logistics network. Fuel prices are expected to spike sharply, and the availability of refined oil products for the military will likely diminish in the coming weeks. For President Vladimir Putin, this strike represents one of the most humiliating and costly blows since the start of the war. Russian state media initially attempted to downplay the incident, describing it as a minor fire caused by an accident. But the scale of the destruction made that narrative impossible to maintain. Independent footage and satellite analysis have confirmed what many suspected: this was a deliberate, coordinated Ukrainian operation aimed at undermining Russia's economic backbone. Sources close to Ukraine's defense intelligence have hinted that this attack was months in the making. Advanced surveillance, satellite tracking, and deep reconnaissance reportedly played key roles in identifying weak points within Russia's oil infrastructure. Ukrainian engineers modified a new generation of long-range drones capable of penetrating deep into Russian airspace. These drones, loaded with specialized explosives, were designed to maximize structural damage upon impact while avoiding radar detection. Western intelligence agencies have also been closely monitoring the situation. NATO officials, while not directly confirming involvement, praised Ukraine's ability to conduct strategically significant operations that disrupt Russian logistics. Several analysts argue that this attack demonstrates how modern warfare has shifted from traditional battlefield engagements to high-precision strikes targeting economic and energy systems. In Moscow, the atmosphere is tense. Russian energy officials have reportedly convened emergency meetings to assess the full scale of the losses. The Kremlin has vowed retaliation, with senior defense figures promising what they called asymmetric responses. However, given the growing strain on Russia's military resources, analysts question whether Putin can afford to open another front or escalate further without risking even greater internal instability. Economic experts say the destruction of this $1.2 trillion facility could have far-reaching global consequences. Russia remains one of the world's largest oil exporters, and any disruption in its supply chain sends ripples through global markets. Already, oil prices surged by nearly 7% within 24 hours of the news breaking. Energy traders fear that prolonged disruptions could lead to further volatility, especially as winter approaches in Europe. Ukraine, for its part, has remained strategically silent. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense neither confirmed nor denied responsibility, following its usual policy of ambiguity in covert operations. However, several Ukrainian officials posted cryptic messages on social media hinting at the strike. One tweet simply read, "Where there's smoke, there's justice." This attack marks a turning point in Ukraine's ongoing campaign to target Russian infrastructure far beyond the front lines. Over the past months, Kiev has intensified its long-range operations, hitting airbases, ammunition depots, and now vital energy assets. These moves serve a dual purpose: to weaken Russia's war machinery and to remind the Kremlin that nowhere within its borders is completely safe. The psychological impact of such strikes cannot be underestimated. For ordinary Russians, the sight of flames engulfing one of their nation's most valuable oil assets has shattered the illusion of invulnerability. Social media platforms were flooded with videos showing massive explosions lighting up the night sky, followed by residents reporting shockwaves that shook buildings miles away. Many citizens are now openly questioning the government's ability to defend its territory, and discontent is reportedly rising even among traditionally loyal regions. Military experts suggest that Ukraine's new strategy is not just about destruction but deterrence. By targeting infrastructure essential to Russia's economy, Ukraine sends a clear message. If Moscow continues its aggression, the costs will rise exponentially. The strike also demonstrates Kiev's growing technological capability and its mastery of asymmetric warfare, using limited resources to inflict maximum strategic damage. In the coming weeks, all eyes will be on how Russia responds. Will Putin attempt a major retaliatory strike against Ukrainian infrastructure, or will he focus on repairing the enormous damage at home? Early signs suggest that Moscow is scrambling to shift fuel supplies from alternative sources, but logistics challenges and international sanctions make recovery slow and costly. Meanwhile, Ukraine's allies in the West are watching closely. This operation reinforces the argument that supporting Ukraine with advanced weaponry and intelligence yields tangible results on the battlefield. If Kiev can continue to degrade Russia's energy and military infrastructure, it could accelerate the weakening of Moscow's war effort and bring new leverage to future peace negotiations. For now, the world watches as a new phase of this war unfolds, one fought not just with tanks and missiles, but with strategic strikes on the very arteries of Russia's power and economy. The destruction of the $1.2 trillion oil facility stands as a symbol of Ukraine's resilience, ingenuity, and determination to strike back in ways few thought possible just a year ago. As fires continue to burn at the blast site and Russia counts its losses, one thing is clear: this war has entered a new dimension, and Ukraine is proving it can reach the heart of Russia's might. This is not just a military victory, it's a psychological and economic earthquake for the Kremlin. Stay tuned for more verified updates as the story develops. Thank you for watching. You're watching Military Matrix, where truth meets the battlefield. Don't forget to subscribe for more breaking analysis on the evolving conflict between Ukraine and Russia.